Okay, could you state your full name again?
Phillip M. Walsh.
And when were you born, Mr. Walsh?
May 10th, 1925.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I was in Portland, Maine till I was 13, and then we came to Kittery after that.
Did you get drafted or did you enlist in the Army?
No, I got drafted.
And what unit did you serve with during the Second World War?
C Company, 66 Armored Regiment, 2nd Armored Division.
And do you remember where you went to basic training?
Fort Knox.
And what was your job in the Army?
Well, I was driving tanks and working on the outposts too, you know, and runs and from battalion headquarters to wherever there was. I can't remember now. But
so you were a tanker?
I was a tanker. I drove a tank, yeah.
Wow. And when you were in basic training, were you with any other men from New England?
Yeah, there was one guy, Llewellyn Bridges. He's dead now, though.
What year did you? When did you find out you were going to be a part of the 2nd Armored Division?
When I landed on Omaha Beach.
And what month was that?
It must have been June, I guess.
Okay, so but it was after the invasion, right?
Yeah, it was 9 days. I landed on 9 days after.
Nice.
They just got the beach cleaned up, and it was right around Carentan, France, and I was assigned to the C Company, 2nd Armored, from there, I guess.
So was there a replacement depot that you were at first? Or?
No, it wasn't. I don't know how the hell I got into the 2nd Armored. Tell you the truth, so long ago. But I remember after we got up on the beach, I was assigned to the 2nd Armored.
So D-Day plus 9, you were assigned to the 2nd Armored Division.
Yeah.
Wow. So Carentan then was so Normandy obviously was still very hot. There was still Germans in Normandy. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first Germans you saw, or the first mission?
First German I saw was just as I climbed up onto the from the beach. It was a young German soldier laid in a foxhole right there, and the maggots have eaten all his face out.
Wow.
That was the first German I saw.
Wow. What was your role in Normandy? Was there a particular infantry division you guys were supporting?
I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. I don't really know, to be frank with you.
Okay. From what I understand is that the 2nd Armored was helping the paratroopers, right?
Probably.
The 101st or whoever?
Oh, yeah, 101st, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you see any other German armor in Normandy?
Let me think, try to think if I did or not. I don't think so, really, no.
So you were the tank driver, though?
Tank driver, yeah.
And I guess, what were some of the targets your tank gunner had to fire at?
Well, I guess they fired at German tanks, and they fired at every time he went through a village, they fired at the houses, you know, and all that.
Was there ever a time that you were scared in Normandy?
Well, the only time I was scared is when we were up on the front for 21 days. And it was like a field, and across the field was the Germans with railroad guns. And they had shells because it must have been 2 or 3 or 4 feet long. It sounded like a freight train coming.
Was that in France?
Yeah, in France, yeah. And we sat there wondering when the hell is this where's it gonna hit?
Yeah.
We were there for 21 days, and then we went somewhere else. And they never told you where you were going.
Mm-hmm. Was it tough to drive tanks through hedgerows?
No, it wasn't. No trouble. They had it was a light tank, and it had 2 Cadillac engines, automatic drive. You know, just had 2 levers to pull down.
Mm-hmm.
Was not to drive, well, I know.
Were you close to the crew that you were assigned to?
I suppose so, but so damn long ago. How the hell you can't remember, really, you know. Remember this Lieutenant Harvey? He was a school teacher. He was a tank commander. You know, he wasn't, well, he was a clumsy devil. You know, the mud was terrible over there, you know. And then, I was down there, and he was up in the turret. And you'd think he would have scraped his shoes up when he got in, but he got right on my shoulders, you know. And he was a clumsy devil. He wanted to get a hot cup of coffee, and I had mine Coleman burner outside the tank, you know, heating it up, and I had to give him mine because he could never, you know, he's knocked his over, and finally he had to have a hot meal, so he got under the tank, and he got a hot meal because one of those shells landed right alongside of him.
Did the Germans try to shoot Panzerfausts at you?
Only at the last, when we were in Berlin. Lieutenant Johnson, when I landed, there was must have been somebody got killed in one of the tanks, you know, and this Lieutenant Johnson was from down south. And this new kid with me was from down south, so he picked him for a replacement. And they were going down through the hedgerows, and they hit a mine, blew the track off, and they all got out and started to crawl. And the new guy from down south, a mortar shell landed on his back, and all he found was a piece of his fly and a belt buckle. First day in the battle.
Wow.
Terrible, really.
That was in France?
Yeah. It was in Carentan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did the Germans shoot at your tank with bazookas and stuff like that, or?
Well, they held the light tanks back a little bit, you know, because they only had a 37 millimeter Pischer, you know, wouldn't, even the medium tanks, that was only 75 millimeter. That hit the German tank and bounced right off. And the Germans would fire those 90 millimeters, they go right in and out the other end, blow the tank up. We didn't have, we had good equipment, but plenty of it, but it wasn't, you know, not like the Germans. They were ready for war. I think what won the war, in my personal opinion, is we had a wonderful Air Force. And we had so much, we was up one Thanksgiving, must have been in Belgium or somewhere, I don't know what it was now, but we ran out, you know, all the tanks were gone. Next morning, all brand new tanks right there waiting for us.
How were the French civilians when you went through the towns? Were they excited?
Well, they were nice to us, you know. Wine and all that stuff, you know. They were glad to see us. I don't blame them.
Did you take a lot of German prisoners in France?
Yeah, I used to put them on the front of the Jeep and take them to the stockade. There wasn't those things on the front of the Jeep, you know, to catch the barbed wire. They wouldn't cut your head off. I put one on each side of the hood, and one alongside of me, and the guy in the back with a Tommy gun. We'd take them to the stockade. They were scared to death. Because the roads were terrible over there, and I was driving like a crazy man through the potholes, you know.
Did you lose any friends or see any American soldiers get killed when you were in France?
Well, we went through one field over there. It was tall grass. And all of a sudden I looked out, there's a 29th Infantry Division guy laying all face, all bloated, his glasses hanging off. We couldn't see him in the tall grass, you know. That's all the ones I ever saw that was dead, really, actually.
So that was one of the first dead Americans you saw was someone from the 29th Division?
Yeah. Infantry Division, yeah. But I thought to myself, there's this poor devil here all dead and all turning blue, you know, and he's probably got family back home waiting for him. Sad, really.
Let's talk about Belgium and did you participate in the Battle of the Bulge?
Yeah. We drove 100 miles at night in the pouring rain, cold as hell, and I was driving a half-track at the time. And, you know, so you couldn't see. I ran off the road, and I backed up and I hit Captain A.Z. Owens' tank, and he let out a blast. Get that man's name. I figured, what the hell, is he going to put me in jail?
So you were driving a half-track then?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why you switched from the tank to the half-track?
I don't really remember telling you. Probably a shortage or something. I don't know what that was.
And were you carrying infantry guys in the back?
The back was full of guys. Yeah.
What do you remember about the Battle of the Bulge?
No, not a lot. I remember we landed in wherever town it was in Belgium there, and we had a pitch pup tent, you know.
It's okay, you can leave it right on your lap.
I'll put it right back. I'll put it back on in here.
There you go. So
we had a pitch pup tent. It was heavy army clothes, soaked right through to the skin, freezing cold, and lay in a pup tent. Well, we never got a cold. I'll never know. You wake up in the morning, your shoes were frozen to the ground. But this Belgian guy had the house there, and he felt sorry for us. He let us go in to, you know, play cards and that kind of stuff. And of course, one of the guys with a ladies, man, he tried to make his wife, so he kicked us the hell out.
Did they tell you anything about the Germans and that it was a major offensive and the Ardennes? Did you know that there were units that were surrounded?
No, they didn't tell you nothing. We didn't. You know, we never know where you're going even. We sat in the field one day, and in 21 days we were in the field, and then just said, "Let's go."
Yeah.
They didn't keep you well informed what was going on, really. It was a good experience. I wouldn't want to go again. I don't want my grandson to go over there either.
I don't blame you.
Ugh. Crazy wars. That was a good, well, I guess we call it, that was a good war, I guess, but.
Did you see any German tanks
I saw plenty of them, yeah.
Yeah.
All blown up, plenty of American tanks blown up too. Turrets all blown off, Plenty of equipment over there destroyed,
Being in the armored division, did you have to dig any foxholes?
No, maybe one or two, but not much.
Did you have any experience with mines?
Well, the tank, I didn't, but one of our tanks hit the mine, killed that guy, The hedgerows were the worst thing,
I'm just reading a little bit about your guys. So, how about Christmas of '44? Do you remember Christmas over there?
Not really much. I remember Thanksgiving over there.
Yeah.
The guy's name was Zeke, was the cook with the Second Army, and they brought up, all the turkey, and we all got ptomaine poison.
Could you tell the difference between a Panzer tank and a Tiger tank? Did you see both of them?
Yeah, they were monstrous brutes. They were scary. Look at them, big wide tracks. Jesus Christ, 90mm gun. The only thing I guess they broke down a lot. That's the trouble with them Tigers and the big Panzers. The good Germans had like the hand grenade. I was just in your hands,
Mm-hmm.
And they had a long hand. They had better equipment than we did. They had them blip guns over there, and we had a 30 caliber machine gun. Christ, to take you half a day to strip it out and put a new barrel in it. And the Germans blip gun just flip 11 out goes the barrel, put the new one in. They had great equipment. The Germans did.
Did the driver of the tank also have a machine gun near him, or?
Or was the right assistant driver over here?
Assistant driver.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was in both places,
So, how often were you firing that machine gun in the front?
Well, much as you could, really, firing houses,
So you're supporting the infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, I think after the Battle of Bulge, did you guys go the Siegfried Line? Or did you guys go to the Rhine River?
No, I think after, I don't really remember, to tell you the truth. I know we were the first troops in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the Russians there,
Did you ever have a close call of almost getting wounded, or did your tank ever get hit?
Yeah, one of those railroad guns that landed alongside the tank, and the shrapnel spoiled the gun, so you couldn't recoil. You had to go back for maintenance.
So your tank got hit?
Yeah.
I forget, did you say that was in France or Belgium?
Actually, I don't really know, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really remember what the hell it was.
Did you guys cross the Rhine River, right, into Germany?
Yep.
What was it like going through Germany? Was it destroyed?
It was all destroyed. They had to take bulldozers to clean it, to make a path. Buildings all blown apart, The destruction was terrible over there. Horses alongside the road, and cows all dead in the fields, and German soldiers all. There's a lot of destruction over there.
Did you have to fire your own carbine from time to time?
I fired a few times, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if you hit anybody or hit anything?
I don't really know, to tell you the truth. I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
Was there a lot of resistance in some of the German towns that you guys went through?
I don't think so, really. I think they must have accepted what they lost,
Yeah. I'm told that there was German prisoners that surrendered by the thousands once you guys were going into Germany.
Yeah, there was, really.
Did you have respect for the German soldiers?
Oh, we just took them. I just took them to the stockade. That's all, really,
But personally, what was your opinion? Did you think that they were just doing their job, or did you hate them?
No, I didn't hate them. I just figured, it's just war. So I didn't have no feelings either way, really,
Did you come across any concentration camps?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. How about the Russians? Did you see the Russians?
Oh, I saw them in Berlin. They were like gypsies, horse-drawn wagons and rags, all that. It reminds you of a gypsy, what I mean. And over there, when I landed in France, I had 2 cartons of Lucky Strikes. They were kind of squashed in my bag. I threw them away. In Berlin, they were $20 a pack. Mickey had a watch, and you get $100. Mickey Mouse on the face, you get $200 for it.
What about German civilians? Did you have any run-ins with German civilians?
What we had was nice. It was a lot of, they treated us nice,
Okay.
How could they do?
What could you say for the 76th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge? What could you say? Is there anything nice you'd like to say about the 2nd Armored Division and what it was like being a part of them? Hell on Wheels.
Well, it was a nice division. All the guys were nice and social. And some of the officers were nice and shared their liquor ration with us. But of course, there was a few.
Were you proud to be a part of that division?
Yeah, I was really. I think it's disbanded now. Yeah. We got a 2 or 3 day pass back to Paris one time over there, But
well, hopefully we can go this summer.
where are you gonna go to?
We're gonna go from Boston to Paris. First class.
Are you gonna go back to Normandy?
We're gonna go back to Normandy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Belgium.
My daughter's been back to Normandy, and she said it's gorgeous over there now.
You guys didn't go to Holland, right? The 2nd Armored?
I don't really remember, Dave. Yeah, we must have, because all the Holland girls were fraternized with the Germans. They took them out in public and shaved all their hair off. We must have been in Holland.
Okay, yeah.
They shaved all their hair off their heads.
Did you ever see the show Band of Brothers?
Yeah, I watched that, yeah.
Yeah, they show the 2nd Armored in that a little bit, but
Yeah.
I actually, like I said, you're the first man from the 2nd Armored I've met.
I'll be the last man you'll meet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it says you guys took part in Operation Cobra. Does that sound familiar?
Oh, I guess so.
How about, did you ever have any run-ins with the SS?
No, we didn't really, no.
You cleared the town of Houffalize, Belgium.
Yep.
That sound familiar?
Yep.
Houffalize was one of the most destroyed villages in Belgium.
I guess it probably was, really, yeah. It was tough times over there, really. Cold as hell, And no hot food.
We're just about done. I'm just, I want to ask, read a couple of things before I forget, unless, because I have the tendency to think of a question after I'm already.
That's always the way. Everybody's the same way.
How many kids do you have?
2.
How many grandkids do you got?
3.
Nice.
That's one of them there. He's going to get the store, he is.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's going to have
He was very nice to me coming in.
Yeah, he's
here.
a nice boy, really.
And the next time, me and my wife are looking at another house, so I know where I'm getting my furniture next.
Okay. I'll have more to pick on.
And I have a pickup truck anyway, so
That's
I'm
good.
bringing stuff back. But honest to God, I've been, 200 veterans later, I've developed relationships with all these great men and women.
Yeah.
The oldest veteran on that rifle is a 104-year-old nurse.
104-year-old.
She's 104.
I remember the Red Cross over there, and I have no use for the Red Cross.
Tell me why.
We was up on the front, and they were selling us coffee and donuts for 10 cents. Not free.
You're the second veteran who told me they don't like the Red Cross anymore.
No, they were selling something else the women were too. I won't mention that. But they were selling us the hot coffee and donuts.
Did you see any of your friendly tanks get hit?
I never seen it, but there were a lot of them. They were all over the place.
Yeah.
We didn't have good tanks.
The Stuart tank, you know, remember the Stuart?
That's I was in the Stuart. That was a, I don't know what the hell he was sending over there for. Back in Fort Knox, they wouldn't let you fire.
So wait, you were in the Stuart?
Yeah.
Not the Sherman?
No.
You were in the Stuart
If
tank?
I was in the Sherman, I wouldn't be here today.
Right, okay.
They had to go against those Tigers. And they weren't equipped, they only had a 75 millimeter gun. In Fort Knox, they wouldn't let us fire a 50 caliber machine gun at the Stuart. That's how lousy it was.
So the Stuart, you were basically tasked with taking out enemy machine gun nests and enemy infantry.
Around the hedgerow and that kind of stuff, you know, really.
Amazing.
The only thing is we had a lot of them, that's all.